good morning, and welcome to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. Shout out to everybody watching us on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Facebook and also IG. I told you we was going to get y'all this morning, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. As you can see, we are live here at our little studio location, live in studio, live on set at DiamondFit Nutrition Club. Shout out to them for having the Reach Podcast Show, offering some awesome energy and drinks and all these things. And we appreciate everybody who stopped through and come and visit the space we're in. But we are running a little bit behind this morning. No big deal. We're going to get this show going. Welcome to the show, Miss G Solo, who is a defensive lineman for the Houston Energy women's football team. And shout out to Emeral. She was not able to make it this morning, but we're going to definitely see if we can get her on the live and LinkedIn. So if she sends that information, just let me know, and then we'll send her the link and we'll shout out at her. But this morning, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to all of the students who are in their last days or last day of school. You guys have obviously done an awesome job this year. So shout out to everybody that's finishing up school, finishing college, and all the graduates of 2021. You guys are in some tumultuous times right now, but you stuck it out and you stuck in there and you've done it. You've made it, and you're in a whole new season right now. And we support you guys, and we just send out all the prayers so that way everything works out for everything that you're trying to do. But we just want to get into what I do every week, and that's thanking my show sponsors, and shout out to all of the companies who stand behind the show and endorse the show from week to week, starting with myself and the nonprofit organization, which this show is powered by, Dad Chronicles. And we'll talk about some things that we're doing that's coming up this month. And this whole month, I want everybody to celebrate the men. Father's Day is around the corner. And actually, I'll just jump into it now. I want you guys to go ahead and go to Dad Chronicles Facebook page and get yourself registered for the Walk for Life. And what this is our opportunity to honor all the males that are doing their thing from week to week, day to day. And mental health and wellness is a thing that is being focused on right now. So go to www.dadchronicles. This is our second annual Walk for Life. Get you, your family, your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this flyer. Share the website, go and get linked up to the second annual Walk for Life. It is a virtual walk run. We will have a on-site location this year, which we were unable to do last year, but this is the flyer. I'll take that down so you guys can see my face. But go to www.dadchronicles, click the second annual Walk for Life and get registered, right? Get registered and join the movement. Do it in honor of some male that you just honor, is what it's all about. Mental health and wellness is a big thing. And it's not just for men. It's about everybody, because we're all in times where things are not like they used to be. And so right now we want to make sure the mental health and wellness is a focus. We're providing resources. You can see the resource page that we have up when you click on that second annual Walk for Life on the Dad Chronicles page. Check out the resources we have, all the videos. And we'll be adding more resources and more companies that you can go to that will help you with that mental health and wellness. And so with that being said, in regards to show sponsors, I'd like to also shout out to a company who I've just recently got connected with, and that is Restore Chirotherapy in Sugar Land. Go and see them. Let them know that the Reach Podcast Show and Dad Chronicles sent you. Is what it is. And so this is definitely a place where you can go and get your mental health and wellness in check for real. And you'll go and see my guys over at the Restore Company. I'll put up pictures so you can see. Shout out to Haley and shout out to my girl Mystique and shout out to also Miss Chrissy Jones over at Restore Cryotherapy in Sugar Land. Definitely a place where you can get your mental health and wellness in check. They're offering a bunch of great services. And right now they have, and forgive me if this is over, but they have a bunch of unlimited services and stuff that you can check out. Things may have changed since the last time we've talked, but definitely want to get connected with them. So Restore Cryotherapy in Sugar Land. Go and see them. And again, let them know that the Reach Podcast Show and Dad Chronicles sent you, and they'll definitely take care of you. But we'd like to get into our other show sponsors. right now, which is none other than Ms. Candace Joseph and the Joseph Consulting Firm. When you have any type of business ideas, anything that you're working on in regards to business, this is definitely a company that you can get with and connect with, and they can definitely help you from front to back, is what I like to say. Visit the website down at the bottom of the screen and let them know again, of course, Dad Chronicles sent you. So shout out to everybody that is doing business, trying to get in business. They can help you with the grants and all the things. Or if you've already been in business and you just want to have a fresh start or a relaunch or whatever the case may be, or just get your business in order, it's definitely a company that you can get with that will help you out to realize those goals. And moving forward, we would like to shout out to a nonprofit organization that I'm proud to be a part of, and of course that is the World Youth Foundation. And Miss Karen over there, who's the head of that organization, they're doing some awesome things in this little short video, which talks about, which displays and shows some of the things that we like to do with the youth. Definitely. It just gives you an idea of some of the things that we like to do. Every second Saturday of the month, we get with a group of kids and we expose them to different opportunities that they may not have exposure to otherwise. And so that's just a short clip of some of the things we do, including the DC trip. And of course, everything is virtual now, but we still do field lessons where we still are able to have contact with our kids. So again, shout out to the World Youth Foundation. And other company I'd like to recognize is none other than the Executive Suite. So I will share their information with you guys.
This is Kivia Jones of the Executive Suite. The Executive Suite is a natural skincare and body care product line. Each of our products are created with your overall self-care, health, and wellness in mind. We definitely believe in plants over pills because cannabis has saved each of our lives. And if you are listening to the Reach podcast show with LeVar Ellis, it could possibly change yours too.
Yes, so definitely check out the Executive Suite. Like I said, mental health and wellness is definitely something that everyone needs to be in tune with right now because of just the times that we're living in and all the crazy things going on in the world. And it's actually, we don't want to make it a trendy thing, but we want to make it a lifestyle. So stay in touch with your mental health and wellness. It's okay to be selfish and love on yourself. And the Executive Suite is definitely a company that stands behind that and focuses on that. And lastly, as far as companies I would like to recognize is my boys over at the Black Store, man. If you're in Houston, support Black business. And that's another thing about these companies that I'm highlighting. Even over here at DiamondFit Nutrition, Black-owned business, man. We definitely want to stand behind each other. And the Black Store over in the South Park, Sunnyside area off of Cullen in Belford, you definitely want to go and check them out. And again, like I always say, let them know the Reach Podcast Show sent you over there. So check their video out.
If you haven't been to the Black Store Beauty Supply Experience, this is a personal invitation to come experience the best customer service at a beauty supply store. Bringing you all the beauty brands that you know and love, but most importantly, we support more than 70 local Black-owned brands in the state of Texas and Louisiana. Like having access to a black-owned pop-up shop 7 days a week. For the ladies who love to pamper themselves, please come experience our nail salon and spa. For the fellas, y'all can look forward to a barbershop coming soon. We'll have our own personal man cave back here. And for those who have a thing for agriculture, we definitely want you to come visit our backyard where you can find our community garden. Thanks for tuning in to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis. Y'all enjoy this great content.
Man, so yeah, definitely again, shout out to the Black Store. Lloyd and Randy, the owners of the Black Store. You can see the website down at the bottom, but just check them out on IG. Go and follow the Black Store, learn their story, and check out all the amazing Black-owned products that they have in the store. And go there for an experience. And I also like to announce, man, every last Friday of the month, Poetry Night with the Reach Podcast Show and the Black Store. Every last Friday of the month. Shout out to everybody who came out this past weekend. Another amazing show, which has now birthed again. The Poetry Night presented by the Reach Podcast Show, hosted by the Black Store, every last Friday of the month. Come check out our inside vibe. Come check out the outside vibe. It was going down, you know. And shout out to all the amazing artists who showed up and showed out. And shout out to my now resident DJ, Mr. Tibbs. So go and follow my man, Mr. Tibbs. And that's Mr. Tibbs with 2 B's and 2 S's. So shout out to Mr. Tibbs and everybody. And Chef Mike, man, with the Cajun Corner, who provided the food this time. And if you missed it, you missed a treat. But none other than every last Friday of the month. If you missed it last time, you can check us out moving forward. So shout out to the Black Store. But now I'd like to get into our show guest today. Welcome to the show. And again, if our girl sends the email, just let me know, and then we'll send her. Okay, you sent it to me? Well, you just got to let me know. So, guys, I'd like for you to welcome none other than Miss G Solo, who is a women's football player and part of the Houston Energy women's football team. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for
Absolutely. So let's get this invite sent to her. So just tell me what the email is. And E4, we wish we could have had you in the studio, but we'll go ahead and send you the link. I know we had a last minute change, and we want to make sure we get her jumped on if she can. And of course, guys, all right. So what is it?
EME RAL FORD official.
Okay.
At Gmail. Yep.
And everybody watching the show,
official.
y'all official. Make sure we got that right. Emeral Ford official. Okay. And then just let her know the link is sent, and make sure she got it. But we want to get into everything. So again, welcome to the show. And the guys excuse us. We're trying to make sure we get connected with our other guest who's going to be here today. We want to give her the opportunity to jump on. And again, shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Instagram, and also the YouTube page. But again, welcome to the show. You know, you're a vet of the Houston Women's Energy football team. So let everybody know who you are, and you know, we'll jump into it. Business owner, you know, you stand for a cause. I already know. And she's also, for everybody who understands the food pantry that we provide, when we go and pick up from Chick-fil-A, Whole Foods, and everything. You step forward and wanted to be a volunteer, and so week in and week out, you're going and picking up, and you're going to bless people. So I like to kind of touch on that a little bit as far as the experiences, because I know you're providing for a certain group of women, and I'd like to hear a little bit about that. But I'm going to shut up, and so let everybody know who you are, and we'll get more into it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is G Solo, as you said. I play for Houston Energy women's football team. We are not lingerie. We are tackles, fully suited and booted. This is my 10th year. When it comes to women's football, it may not be a big deal to others, but playing for 10 years is a big deal to me.
Wait, how long?
10 years.
You gotta say that a little louder, man. 10 years. You're a veteran, man. Yeah. You're for real. You're for real veteran. I put that as a hashtag, and I started having all these veteran groups talking about promoted on the veterans. But I'm like, I was talking about her being a veteran of football, you know. So I know that's been a ride, you know.
It has. So let me say a little bit. When it comes to women's football, we have jobs. We can't just go out there and play like the NFL. We're not getting paid. Of course, we have to find sponsors. We are mothers. We do a lot. So in my situation, I work. Uh, I work a clocking job. I own my own business. I take care of my father. I have kids, grandkids, and I still play.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to still be here for 10 years, it's a lot.
Yeah.
If we get injured on the field, we don't have insurance paid by the league that will pay for us. So now you have to take off of work, or you can't provide for your family because you're injured.
Right.
So we all play for a purpose. We all play for a cause. We have different walks of life on the field. Every woman that has stepped on the field is playing for a reason. Some has lost their mom or lost their dad, and they just needed something, to
motivate them.
Right. Yeah. Or some of us have been physically abused, mentally abused, in and out of prison. It's just so much that has happened to us women, and we use football as an outlet.
Yeah.
And none of us are saying that, we can go up against JJ Watt, or we can play better than the men. It's not that.
Yeah.
We're just saying that we love the sport. We can play, and I promote that you can still play and still look pretty.
Yeah.
So I do a little modeling. I always promote women to embrace themselves. So it's a lot. So whenever you hear me talk about it, like, I'm strong about women's football.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one. So when people have played for 12, 15 years, some has retired. They still love the sport, but at the end of the day, we're not getting paid. We're not getting enough support, and so we have to do what we got to do.
So, man, to talk about that, to not get this contract or not get paid in essence, and, I know you have to find sponsors and stuff. So my man, Ron Dante, he said, shout out to Giovanni, respect. So we appreciate you tuning in, brother, and the shout outs. To keep going, I know you said there's certain reasons and, things that are keeping each individual getting on the field every week, So how hard is it, or has it been hard, or what is the biggest motivator for you, I guess, is my main question, that has caused you to keep doing this every year, knowing what you're up against year after year? What's keeping you motivated?
Well, for starters, my daughter had motivated me. I used to be a team mom and a coach for a little league out here in A-League. My daughter wanted to play. And so I was like, wow, do you really? So, just to see her wanting to play, she was middle linebacker. She followed behind her brother. I was like, well, let me show her that this is something that girls can do. WNBA is out. We all know the struggles, that they had to get to. And so I was like, in my mind, we're going to get there too. So she was my motivation, to begin with. And then after so many years, I want to say about 5-6 years ago, I took on the league to be the big sister of Houston Energy. I just felt like we needed that to push on. And so every year, my sisters on the football team are the one that motivate me. Okay. They all just call me with just different stories, different things that they need help with and that they need motivation for. And I just was like, I've been on my own since I was 15. And so some of the struggles that they go through, I feel like if I did it on my own with no guidance, no support, no love, then I feel like they can go further in life. Yeah. So every year they're motivating me.
That's what's up. And that's huge. Again, I was just talking about mental health and wellness. And again, man, like I was saying, I do it because I'm doing it on Father's Day weekend. The Walk for Life is what I call it. It's a mental health and wellness walk. When I started my organization, it was based off of the idea of supporting men and trying to get them to open up about their mental health and their wellness, and we don't go to the doctor and we don't get checked out and we don't, we're not vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're taught to be tough exterior and all these different things. But it's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I've shared this with you before, and I hope it's a situation that y'all can get tapped into and we can get the team motivated to get registered and do the walk, because it's virtual as well. You know what I'm saying? And so the mental health and wellness, that's a huge, huge thing, not only these days, but obviously in your situation and being part of that team. And, for these girls to look up to you, are you the most tenured player on the team? Is there anybody that's been on the team longer than you? And
yes, well, Chris retired 2 years ago. She was there longer. she's the longest.
Okay.
In there. E4, this is her 9th year.
Okay.
It would have been 10 years, but E4 makes them big dollars.
Okay.
So her job,
yeah.
So her job causes her sometimes, not to be able to play. So
let me find out you at work today, E4. That's why you're not here. Nah, I can't pay you. Go ahead and go to work.
Right. So E4, she started out a year, but if she hadn't, we both would be neck to neck.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man, and that's huge. And I can't wait to go to the game. So let's take a second and I call it your commercial. You know what I'm saying? What can they expect when they see you on the field? Are you the tired vet? Are you still going hard after 10 years?
Course.
What are you doing? And talk about this next game. Let us know where it's at, how they can find the tickets. And also, you were talking about the modeling thing. She ain't lying. Y'all go to Facebook. If you're whatever platform, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, find G Solo. She's doing her thing. She's repping Houston Energy really well, and it's clean. You know what I'm saying? It's not raunchy. It's the other side of that, because you're still sexy, you're still beautiful, you still look amazing, and speak on that and why you choose to do that a little bit too. But tell us about the game and the next time we can catch you.
All right. So this game is Saturday, June 5th. We are playing Houston Power. Good luck to Houston Power, but Houston Energy, we have been in the game for 21 years.
Yeah.
A huge shout out to Brian Wiggins. If it wasn't for Brian, we wouldn't be here. Look up Brian Wiggins.
That's Coach Brian, right?
Yes.
Man, shout out to Coach Brian, man. We appreciate you doing what you do for these ladies.
Yes, Houston Energy, we hold ourselves, to a higher standard, to a higher level. And I don't know what else to say. My defensive coach, Coach Bird, let me tell you, he's zero tolerance. He don't care if you've been on this team for 10 years or the first year.
Yeah.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're sitting on the bench. So Bird, when it comes to Bird, he's my motivation on defense. He always tells me that I have more to offer on the field.
Okay.
Prior to him coming, I played O and D line. I still will play O line now if they need me, but at that point I was a D end.
Mm-hmm.
So when he came, he was like, "I think you'll do good in the middle." And so I was like, "Damn, you calling me fat?" Because I was much bigger.
Yeah.
So every year you have new girls, new rookies. Younger girls, they always gonna be ahead of you.
Yeah.
So
and just to pause on that, because I was looking at I see you tag E4, because I haven't met her officially.
Yeah.
But I got on her Facebook her Facebook page, and I see she's documented her journey. She was, I guess we would say, chubby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's put in the work and she's trimmed down. So shout out to her on that. And I know you've done the same thing. So I just wanted to highlight that. And again, it just goes back to the mental health and wellness. It's really what I wanted to highlight.
So when Bird put me in the middle, I kind of was like, damn, that means I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And Alasia, she's on D-line too. Alasia came in, and so Alasia took my spot.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, well, damn. Like, dang, Coach, I'm right. But he broke it down to me. He was like, I need you to own this spot. He was like, this middle, this is yours.
You got come.
He said, if anybody comes through the middle, that should be a disrespect to you. And so I changed the way I thought about it, and I owned it.
Yeah.
And even now, with my 10th year plan,
you good.
If I mess up in the game, like, he gonna put me to the side. He gonna let me know what I did wrong. And so I love that about him. Like, he get in our six. So when we're on that field, it's not, oh, you've been here for a year, you've been here for 10. It's none of that.
Yeah.
I need to be able to trust my sister on my left. I need to be able to trust my sister on my right and my back.
Right.
And we're all 11. We're all in. So on the defense, we go eat.
Yeah.
And so I love my position.
You eat lunch out there?
Yes.
So on that, I know we are, and I'm gonna put the picture back up for those who may have just tapped in. I'm gonna put this picture up of her in a uniform. You talked about, we're not lingerie, we're full contact. Are y'all really hitting like that?
Yes, come see us.
I'm coming. I mean, I just want people to see that y'all suited and booted for real, as you said.
Yes.
But so the contact, how did it take you? Like the first year, I know it's been 10 years. You may not, or may remember, or seeing new girls as they come in. Are they intimidated, or Are y'all feel like y'all just as ferocious as some of the guys or college players, NFL players? You know, y'all really get after it like that. That's what y'all doing.
Yeah, well, all of us is different. So for me, I was a tomboy.
Okay.
Like, while the girls was at recess playing their hair and hopscotch, I'm over there like playing football and basketball.
Yeah.
So my situation is a little different.
Okay.
My first time ever playing football, a group of boys I always asked to play. They never wanted to let me play. So the first time that they let me play, I didn't know offense and defense. I just said I wanted to be the person and hit the person with the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
So
you knew what you wanted to do.
Right,
you didn't know how to tell them what you
right.
wanted to do.
So, you know, of course, the boys sizing you up, like,
Right.
oh, you know, this is not a girl sport. So, downstairs HUD, I hit him, ran him into the trash can, and busted his head open.
Wow.
So, of course, I got in trouble, but that feeling, I was like,
you like the adrenaline.
Oh, my God, yes. So, fast forward, when I was in high school, the boys, like, told me up front, like, if you try out, we're going to hurt you. And so, me not knowing my potential, I just was like, all right, I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, moving out here to Texas and finding out that there's a women's football team, I was like, yes. And so we'll say my personal story for another time, but just things that I've been through in life, I needed something because the judge told me I couldn't fight no more. Like, either go try to be a boxer or, you know, do
figure a way to let it out.
Right.
You need an outlet, young lady. I'm glad you found it.
Yes, and so when my daughter wanted to play football, and then I found Brian Wiggins, like it just all connected. So
that's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, we've had rookies that's kind of scared and kind of timid, and something that I got from my coaches is we bring the aggression, if we bring the energy, you know, we want to play, he's gonna do the rest. He's gonna teach us our assignment. You know, we're gonna align to what we need to do. So don't get me wrong, some rookies be like, oh, they scared, but after that first hit, you know, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
So with me, I've never been scared.
Okay.
And let me tell you, we played some girls in Colorado, I think Phoenix. We done played some big girls. Yeah, some big girls, and you like, man, I don't know if I'm be able to knock it down. Yeah. But I love it. I'm never scared. I take my assignment. You know, I take it personally.
That's what's up.
You know, so
that's what's up. You put your all into it, and maybe come over a little bit so we can give IG some of your presence and stuff like that. But with that being said, what has been the history of the team? Because of course, and shout out to Angel, man. She's probably watching. She introduced us and got us connected, and so one thing leads to another. But what is kind of like the history of the team? Like, y'all won championships. What are y'all saying in the city? You know, give us a little bit about that information.
Okay, so
did she get the email? See if she got it.
She ain't emailed me yet.
Okay, no problem. So, E4, we're still looking for you.
So she's on a Zoom call.
Okay.
Football related.
Gotcha.
Just so happened, you know, she's doing a lot. She's multitasking over there. Okay. So, yes, we were in IWFL. We won the championship in 2018. We have 10 division titles.
Wow.
I was here for 5 of them.
Okay.
2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. Before I came, we were part of the WPFL league, and so they won 3 championships, 2000 through 2002.
Gotcha.
So Brian got some titles
good tenure. He might know what he's doing a little bit. All right, Coach Wiggins, I see.
So a lot of people like to compare us to the other teams in Houston, and so
that's what I was gonna ask. Do you know how many teams are in Houston? How many women's football teams?
So
I know there's
to be honest, I focus on Houston.
I got you.
That's all.
Yeah.
I do know that there's Houston Heat.
Okay.
We're playing Houston Power for the first time on Saturday.
Okay.
But like I said, is this
a big rivalry or the game coming up?
So yes, and it's only a big rivalry because prior to them teams becoming a part of the football league, it was only Houston Energy. Like, you only hear about Houston, Texas. You only hear about Houston Energy.
Okay.
So now it's, which team do you play for? And, you know, you kind of get an attitude like, what you mean?
What you mean? What other team? Ain't no other team.
Right. You know, it's just us. It's Houston Energy. So, you know, now it's Houston Power, Houston Heat, you know, and like I said, good luck to everybody, because at the end of the day, we're all here.
Yeah.
So, we all try to play this game that we love.
Yeah.
So, no hate on everybody.
I gotta keep the competitiveness part of it.
Hey, I don't talk. My coach, I'm telling you, we hold a different class. My
coach, you don't talk.
I just work.
Right.
I just do my work. So I'm not really a shit talker. I'm not about to sit here and say what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. All I know is to be there at the game on Saturday, and you guys can
show up and show out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there because when it's just great timing. When I asked you to send me the schedule, I saw that it was a game, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect, and it's at home. So I'm excited about seeing it. So again, guys, what I'll do is I'll put the schedule up for those who are watching. If you want to try to go and catch the game, and here's just another example of her modeling yet again. She again, go to her page. If you're on Facebook, go to G Solo and just scroll through the picture. She's doing a lot of things to represent Houston Energy, and I can't wait to see you on the field for the first time. And if my son's watching, man, I might let her teach you a little something. He's going to the 10th grade this year. He's the same situation, came up in Little League football, and I'll take that schedule back down. But the same way, like you said, he just wanted to hit somebody. Then they had him on offensive line. He was playing both ways, both sides of the ball, and it wasn't until this year that he's like, nah, I just want to do defense. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great feeling, and it's exciting, when you see kids, and I can't wait to get that same feeling on the other side of the track, seeing a bunch of women out there giving it their all.
We're all one.
Yeah.
When we all on that field, like we're just tuned in together on the offense, on the defense. You'll hear us cheer each other on, mm-hmm. and sometimes we get quiet because we're in a moment, but you'll hear one of us say, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Cheer everybody on because we need that.
Yeah.
It's a different motivation when your teammates is cheering you on and you out there.
Absolutely. This picture right here, tell us a little bit what was going on this picture, letting everybody see just you guys, this like before, after the game, what's the situation on this one?
So,
and that's G Solo number 31, right there in the middle.
So every year, our coach do captains kind of different. And so that year, those were the captains, and we were going out to meet the rest. And so we hold hands to show one, unity, to show two, to show sisterhood, mm-hmm. And three, to show like we all we got.
Right.
Our shirt this year says energy versus everybody, and because it's more than football.
Right.
My teammates know that they can call me to pray with them, to vent, they need to vent. Mm-hmm. We help each other move, we break bread with each other.
Right.
So holding hands, like to me, like that picture speaks volumes to me because it means a lot.
Yeah.
I told you in the beginning, we all come from different walks of life. And just so for all of us to be able to get together, one thing that I'm big on, and me and E4 started this, is I come to practice quiet. We should be so in tune together that E4 knows that something's wrong with me,
right.
And vice versa. If my linebacker is having a bad day, I should be able to know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing that we have to broadcast and be like, hey, I'm having a bad day. We just supposed to be in tune with each other that we know. Yeah. And so holding hands, it brings a different life to the
and
team.
The energy, hence the name. Y'all are focused on the energy that you guys are creating and the environment. And I love that, and I don't know how much of it you can talk about, but it kind of goes to why you chose to become a volunteer with the Joy of Giving and, the places that you go to. Is the team part of that as well as far as y'all's outreach? And is that something that you guys focus on too in the community?
So, yes, our team as a whole, we do a lot of things for the community. If you follow Brian Wiggins, he has a lot of our pictures on his page. But me personally, I help better women. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I really brag about because most of the women that I help have to, go in hiding.
Right.
I help women relocate, whether they're relocating here or relocating out of state. So when Angel told me what you do, I was like, wow. Sometimes we have to change our mind frame. And
right.
so people automatically think because you have kids, you get food stamps. You don't need no help.
Right.
And that don't be the case,
yeah.
Or some people feel like because you work and you don't need no help.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's not the case. Some women that I work with, like their stories is
heartbreaking.
Yeah, and so for the number one reason that women like to stay is for finances. Mm-hmm. And so if you're the breadwinner and you bring home all the money, I'm going to allow you to beat me because what else I'm going to do? Yeah. You know, where else I'm going to go? So once I pull them out of that situation, it's hard. Yeah. They can't just go down the street and ask for help because, you know, now their safety, you know, is in danger, yeah. Right? Yeah. So when you came along, I was like, yes. And so just to see the smiles on their faces, to bring them the items that we get from Whole Foods and Chick-fil-A, like it's a blessing. Yeah. I was doing community service. Like I said, my nonprofit is in the works, waiting on paperwork. We talked about that, absolutely.
Congrats on that, man, because I know you're gonna do some amazing things.
Thank you.
But before you move on, because there's somebody watching, right? Or there's somebody that's gonna see this show. Somebody's like, man, you know, man, she helping women too. You know, she got a story, blah blah blah. But you made the statement and you said, when I pull them out of that, right? Sometimes you got to change your mind. All of this. What is something that you would tell a lady who's possibly watching this or will watch it that's in that situation and hasn't made her mind up to change it? Because I was raised by my mom, and shout out to my mom for watching the show right now. She says unity is power, and that's absolutely true. So all I know is a strong woman, right? But there's plenty of women, not that they're not strong, but they just struggle with making that change. Right. So what is something you would tell a lady? And look them in that camera, and what would you say? Because this is the part of the show that we're reaching some people, you know, and I really want somebody to hear, you know, what advice or just what you would say to an individual who's in that type of toxic situation.
So the name of my nonprofit is called Embracing Me. And it's called Embracing Me because I was once in an abusive relationship. I met my ex-husband at the age of 15. Got kicked out. You know, most people, you know, families not with all of that. Stepdad kicked me out. Mom was like, hey, I choose my husband over my daughter. Kind of short story. So when my ex-husband started beating on me, it was like, of course, my self-esteem less. And one thing that I had to do was embrace myself. A lot of people don't see the scars on my face, but I have scars that are there. Yeah. And so kind of like a movie, you see a movie and they look in the mirror and they see somebody else, like I see that day. Wow. And I still see it today, right? Yeah. And so women that's listening or that I try to help, the first thing that we have to do is embrace ourselves. I had to embrace every scar on my body. I had to embrace me. And I can't embrace me. I can't allow a man to come love me if I don't embrace me. Right. Men used to say, oh, you pretty, and I would frown like, what you want? You know what I'm saying? You want something? Like, you trying to, what you want? It's a motive. Yeah. But I had to change my mind for him. Right. And my first thing I tell women is to embrace themselves. Once they embrace themselves and they know their worth, just because that man bringing in $80,000 a year and you're not, and when they start embracing themselves, oh, I'm gonna find a way. Right. And of course, God is number one. I had to find somebody to help me because I had my son at 15. You know, my life started really early. Right. And so while my friends is out smoking or spending the night having girls' night, I'm at home with my husband. I got married at 18. Yeah. So by the time I graduated from high school, I was married to this man and we had 2 kids. Wow. So when he started beating on me, I couldn't call my best friend. My best friend name is LaWanda. She's in Ohio. Shout out to Miss LaWanda. Shout out to her. I couldn't call her and be like, say, he hit me. You know, what is it that she could tell me? Right. You know, and so eventually I cut myself off from the world. And most women, that's what happens. Right. Yeah. Because they feel like you're going to judge them or you're not going to understand them. Another thing that I'm trying to get women to not do is, oh, girl, that couldn't be me. But you're lying because you don't know. Yeah. You've been in this relationship and you're all so in love. You got all the money, you got the house, you know, the cars, everything that you want, and this man hits you. You can't say, oh, girl, couldn't be me, I'm going to kill him. Well, yeah, those thoughts came in my head afterwards, you know, after I was like, okay, enough is enough. But when you in that moment, or I've dealt with women where they like, you know, if I leave, he's going to kill me and you. Right. You know, what do? Yeah. You know, so it's a hard topic to talk about. A lot of people don't want to talk about. And I have to keep going back to the embracing me. My ex-husband had cut my hair really short because he thought I was gonna leave him.
Wow.
And
nobody else can have it.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm part Cherokee and Choctaw, so I don't know if
Wait, say that again? You hold on, you can't just run past that. You part what and what?
I have Cherokee and Choctaw in my bloodline.
Choctaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we have a good grade of hair. You know, I had long hair, and when he cut it, I felt like I wasn't pretty anymore because I didn't have long hair.
Yeah.
And so these women, they go through things like that. And what's crazy is I kept my story in for the longest because I feel like my story can help you. I feel like there's someone that their situation was worse than mine. So what's my story?
Right.
But God will start bringing these women to me. And one of my teammates, her name is Sid. I don't know what we were talking about, but I had just broke down my story to her, and she was like, "No, yeah." She was like, "You can't think like that. You can't say, oh, I can't tell my story because your story don't mean nothing." She was like, "Everybody's story is different." And so I came into contact with that. My ex-husband had pinned me in a corner, put all the bullets in the gun, so it's not like one was missing.
Oh, man.
And I was just tired. You know, I was young. I used to live in fear. Like, I would write notes, like, if you find me dead, this is where my kids go. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when he was ready to kill me, I just was like,
go ahead.
Do what you gonna do, homie. Like, I'm not even tripping. And so he put the gun to my head and he put the trigger.
Wow.
And I'm here. Like,
right.
Nothing happened.
Wow.
I mean, I could say I don't know, but of course we know that angel.
Yeah.
Angel did something to the gun. And so when I was telling Sip this story, she was like, "And you're not telling nobody your story?" And I was like, "No, because there's a lot of people. Like, I don't know if you follow Keisha Smith. Her mom, we call her Smitty. Her mom has an amazing story. And so I feel like, man, it's people like that. Those are the stories that y'all need to hear."
Man, see, this is, man, for everybody that's listening, this is why I do the show. This is why I call it the Reach Podcast Show. Because everybody has a story that's going to help everybody, right? But it just takes one person for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's countless amount of people that can relate to this story, who need to hear this story, who needs to understand, embrace yourself. Right. You know, a lot of people need to understand that, but that's, you know, and then God is real. That's the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? For him to, you said there were no bullets missing. So when he pulled the trigger, like, I mean, what was the next thing you remember after that? What happened?
Like I said, I was tired. So, like, I looked him dead in his eyes, and I was like, it is what it is. And so, like, it was right here, and he hit the trigger, and it, like, clicked. I didn't flinch. I didn't jump or nothing. It flinched. So, when I kind of, like, cut my eyes, like, what the hell?
Right.
So, he did it again. And it still didn't go off. And so he looked at the gun, and I think it scared him. Cause
that's what I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "You know what, you crazy. Get out."
Wow.
I'm crazy because I didn't jump.
Wow.
You know, and so
wow.
I just was like, you know, hey.
Let me see something. Hello? Hello? You trying to call into the show? All right. I didn't want to not answer. I know somebody's trying to call into the show.
So he eventually called me crazy. Over the years, you know, like I said, I moved out here. I started a new life for me. I had to work on me. Depression. Let me tell you, depression is a silent killer. Matter of fact, this coming Monday is going to be part of my Motivational Monday.
Okay.
I'm going to show you guys what I look like being depressed.
Wow.
And then...
Man, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's so important for people to see it, too. And so just shout out to you to be brave enough to even talk about that.
Well, I'm only doing it because I get so many... So when I model and I post my pics, I get so many inboxes, and I'd be shocked to hear like these women's stories, and they be like, "Oh, you're so brave," or "Oh, I need your confidence," and to me, I'm like, but I'm really not doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, God keeps sending these people.
You're doing a lot, though, sister. You're doing more than you realize.
I see that.
Yeah.
So now I do Motivational Mondays, and it's not even about the likes, because for me, that one like, it could have saved 2 or 3 females, and that's what's going on.
Right.
I'll post something and they inbox me, and so anyway, depression is a silent killer. Just emotional, like it's just a lot of things that you go through.
Right.
And so, like I said, football is one. Me healing women and motivating them is what helps me.
Motivates you.
It's
a self therapy journey.
Right.
That's a big thing.
Things
for me too.
that my ex-husband did to me when I go into these situations, because I came against their men, like in the middle of the night, we're moving, and here they are.
Yeah.
It helped me not to be scared of them.
That's what's up. They need to be scared of you.
And that situation that I was in, I just feel like I was about to die. You know, the gun could have went off. God had another purpose for me. And so when these guys out here that think they're tough and they like threatening her and telling her that she's not going nowhere, I'm like, well, get through me first. You know, what you gonna do?
Absolutely.
You know, we gotta go.
You're the angel on earth.
You know what you gonna do? And so my story, my struggle has helped so many women.
Yeah. You helping now. So if you're able to say, one of the questions is, when you say he just told you to get out, after that, where is he now, or did you know, or what happened?
So he's still in Ohio. We still haven't got to that point where we can have a.
And he's the father of your kids.
Of my first.
Wow.
I don't know what to say about him. So let's bring up the hair situation. So 3-4 years, because I used to beg him for a divorce. Not even so that I could have another man. I wanted to part ways. I want my book published. I wanted my business. I have goals in life, and I didn't want him to be a partner.
Right.
So I used to always ask for divorce. And so about 2 years ago, he finally decided to sign the papers. And so I asked him, I was like, you remember cutting my hair? And he was like, girl, how long ago was that? And that's another thing that I want women.
Trying to downplay it.
Right. And that's another thing that I want women to understand or to realize, that person moves on to their life. They abuse us, whatever they do to us, but they still move on. They live their life, and we're still stuck in this box, holding on to it. And so when he was like, you still on that? I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You still the same person.
You tried to kill me,
right.
Bro. What you mean? Am I still on that? I think about it every day. Thank God to still be here. Somebody, am I still on that?
Right. Yes.
Why wouldn't I be?
But really, what he meant, what he said was powerful, because think about it. If I got raped, right, I'm still like closed in. I'm scared. I don't want you to touch me. But the person that raped me, regardless if they're in jail or not, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's a moment past.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you're still holding on to me because I'm holding on to it.
Right.
But if I let it go and you don't bother me,
right,
you haven't won.
Yeah.
And see, everything that I do or I touch, I win my battles.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Yeah.
So
go ahead on.
So for me, when I see him, it is what it is. I still see these scars. I have flashbacks, but I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm G. I can only be the person that I am, and I'm moving on.
Yeah.
And so the things that he done to me, I'm just like, it is what it is. Like our kids have their
part
own
of your journey.
Our kids have their own kids now, and my son was 9 years old when he got a phone.
Wow.
And he was born in 1998. So I don't know. I don't remember how the phones went.
That far back.
That early, right? But I know my son had a flip phone. But I did it for him, so his dad could call him.
Right.
So I'm not that type to like talk down on men, because you men go through a lot, and you guys need a support system.
Yeah.
So I'm never that woman that downplay a man or tell the kids what happened. I just kind of let them figure it out on their own.
Right.
So I always kept that communication open with my son having the phone, so that I wouldn't have to communicate.
That's crazy for it to be. I've heard these stories, and I guess I have heard it before, but to actually hear it here, what I'm saying is, I hear about women getting abused and this, that, and the other. like this was your actual husband. This is the actual father of your kids. So it's like you can, but you can't just close that door and just shut it off because you also have the kids to worry about. But then, you know, the mother hen kicks in and you want to keep the kids safe. You know, so it's
that's what
my point is a complicated situation.
Yeah,
man.
Is. That's where the phone come in at. So I feel like I was still being a good person by allowing you to always keep up with your kids. Yeah. And his parents are some awesome, lovely people. Like I still talk to them. I still call them mom and dad.
Wow.
You know, I've always left the door open, you know, for the family. Now, do we talk about what happened to me? No. And of course not, because that's his family. You know, so I don't expect nothing else. Yeah. But
when you say don't talk about it, they don't know?
Oh, no.
They know, okay.
They know.
You just don't
they were
keep
there,
talking about
right.
it.
I'm just saying it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the past, it's over with.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So
you're not dwelling on it.
Right. So, you know, we're not no big happy family where Thanksgiving me and him is there and what our significant others, like, no. I'll never get to that level.
Right.
But I've always left the open door for his kids.
For him to do his part.
Let me tell you, anyone that's watching, always tell your kids that they're beautiful, that they're handsome, and that you love them.
Absolutely.
Here comes this 18-year-old guy driving down. I forgot what kind of car it was, but he was like, "You're beautiful." I ain't never heard that word before. I know what it meant, but I'm like,
wow.
Me? You know?
Yeah.
And he just like swept me off my feet from dealing with abuse at home. And so here I am. This is my knight in armor. He's here to save the day. And so you can tell me that a girl could come up to me and say she was with him last night. Not shit. Not mine, you know, not mine, ain't no way.
Yeah.
Or I was in school, you know, I'm still in high school, I'm playing basketball, now I gotta work a part-time job because I have this son of mine. You couldn't tell me that he's not at home with my baby. I'm not believing, you know, because this man then brought me way up to shoot me back down. And so it was like a repeat of things that I had went through at home, and so it's kind of like it's normal.
Yeah.
You know, when you're raising a child, and if brushing your teeth is a daily thing to that child when they get older, that's what they're going to do. You know, if you only make your kid take a shower 2-3 times a week, and then he get married, and this woman like, why the hell this man don't get in the shower every day? Because it, you know, wasn't something that was done every day.
Right.
And so that's what needs to happen. Like,
telling your kids they're beautiful. Absolutely.
Yes. They're gorgeous.
Which goes back to, you know, and tying it all back into football and why you help confidence. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm sure makes you feel powerful, confident, you know, being on that field and exercising your physical ability, you know.
Well, Brian actually helped me with the confidence and the self-esteem part because Brian does, like, he talks to us outside of football.
Okay.
And to our younger ones, like, he's like their father.
Gotcha.
And so, of course, I'm not an open person, so I really didn't tell him what I was going through. And so, trying to be creative and find money for the team, because for me, if I got it, you got it.
Right.
And so I don't want to pay my sponsorship, but my sister right here can't pay hers. So I used to think of ways what to do. And so one thing was the calendar. And I was like, wow. So every time I see a selfie, I take a lot of selfies now, but people don't know that it used to be a way for me to heal.
Yeah.
Because when I take a picture, I see something that you don't.
That people don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the calendar, it was for football, but it also helped my self-esteem. So I remember calling Brian like, hey, I want to do a calendar. And first I wanted to do it with the team, but let me tell you, when it's 40 women, you know,
that's what I was getting ready to ask. How many people on the team? So you got 40 women, and then women, you know.
Don't do it. So, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, just the timing, like, it was just a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, forget it. I'm going to just do it myself.
Right.
And so my very first calendar that I did, I feel like it could have been better, but it was a huge step for me.
Yeah.
And then I kept going. You know, I kept doing it. And I talk a lot about tiger stripes. Like, sometimes I wear half shirts or I pull my shirt up, wear a sports bra. Hell, I got tiger stripes.
Yeah.
You either like them or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be 290. Matter of fact.
Wait, what? Come Come on now.
Yes, I
Wow.
was too nice.
Wow.
Don't do that.
No.
So
it's to compliment you, you know, in the transition, man.
So I found out that I had a low thyroid problem. Brian, you know, first person I called. Well, actually, my daughter called him.
Right.
Let him know, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just bricks on my chest. Like it wasn't healthy for me. And like I said, I try to overcome everything that I faced.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor was like, "Oh, you're gonna deal with this, you know, for the rest of your life. You're gonna be on medicine." And I was like, "Oh, the devil is a lie."
The devil is a lie.
And so I didn't find it because I'm so in tune in football. We start off-season practice like from November. So from November to July, I'm very active.
Mm-hmm.
But those other months, I was taking a break, not knowing that this thyroid level, my low thyroid level, is killing me. And so just Brian Bird, actually my team, because I was like, "Brian, don't you say nothing. Don't tell them nothing." And I remember E4 was the first person calling me fussing, you know, like, "That's not fair to us, you know, why you didn't tell us?" Because I actually was in the hospital. And so after that, I was like, well, I need to get myself together.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you see now, me at 230, I love it.
I like to put this picture up while we're talking about pictures. Just one of the modeling things that you did for the Houston Energy football team. You know, it just speaks volumes and confidence shining through. And like I said, y'all go and check her Facebook page out. You know, that's another thing. And before we get too far off the subject and before I forget, again, shout out to Coach Brian. But let's talk about, you know, those individuals who are watching and they're like, man, you know what? I want to support her. And in a lot of cases, it'll be because they're hearing your story, right? They want to support. How can they sponsor? How can they donate? How can they give back to you?
Website,
that's what I was going to say.
Let me make sure I say it right. Give me 1 second.
But yeah, man, that's your story is amazing, and I want to talk about your business and some other things before we have to get off. And we don't have to get off, but my mom says, hats off to you. Losing that weight was a great achievement. Again, great motivator and strong young lady. And that's my mom. So, you know, she's the strong lady that I know. And we'll appreciate you staying tuned in. But you have that, the website. I'll put it up. But guys, and I'll put this while we're looking for that. For those who want to check out the games, here's the schedule. There's, I think, 2 games left?
Yes, we have 2 games,
Saturday.
and on the road to the championship playoff. So
that's what's up.
I thought it was at the bottom of that. Okay, so it's www.HoustonEnergyFootball.com.
Okay, let me get that.
www.HoustonEnergyFootball.
EnergyFootball.com. All right, good.
Yes, so they can sponsor not only me, just sponsor the team. Like, you guys just have to take in consideration, we don't have anyone giving us gas cards. We have people coming from all parts of Houston, you know, just to get to practice. We are very blessed to have Brian Wiggins. Emeral Ford is his only daughter. He's not married.
Oh, that's her dad?
Yeah,
okay, that's what's up.
He focused on us so much. We have like 12 different jerseys, like 5 different helmets.
Wow.
Like, I be fussing at him so much. So for me, just because he spoils us like that, I don't feel like every year he should have to come out of pocket.
Yeah.
Yes, we pay for our sponsorships, but just think about it. One sponsorship will probably pay just 2 helmets. I don't even think it's 2 helmets. You know, like when we break it down, he has to pay for the field. We have, I think, 6 refs. You know, just us personally, we have to pay for gas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we go out to eat, and so the sponsorship helps all of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So support, man. You know, I say this all the time. I tell you guys to when you shop on Amazon. I don't know if y'all have something like that set up, but you can talk to Coach. I have an Amazon Smile account, so people can support Dad Chronicles, and they don't have to do nothing different. But everybody shops on Amazon, right? So you know. When people shop on Amazon, I tell them to use the Dad Chronicles Amazon. Yeah, it's called Amazon Smile, and I'll send it to you as well. Okay. So that way y'all can have that and figure out a way to get it set up. But sponsorship funds that are so important, so I talk about that all the time, support the Reach Podcast Show, support Dad Chronicles, and now support the Houston Energy women's football team, because you guys are doing more than just for the sport. There's a lot of things that just you individually, and then you got 39 other women that are on the team. So I can imagine how many stories and how many reasons and how many purposes and all of that are involved with just the whole team as a whole. And shout out to Coach is watching. So shout out to Mo Better Boxing. I know you've seen some of my pictures, but he says you're very inspirational and you got to come by the gym. But what you don't know, when we leave here, that's where we're headed. We're going by Mo Better Boxing. I'm definitely showing her the setup we got over there. And it's a situation where maybe we get some things going, and we can give back to the battered women. They can come to the gym. For those who want to lose the weight, we have a full workout facility, and you guys are definitely welcome to come over there, and we'll set up a whole situation where we can make it make sense for everybody. And then we'll go shoot by Restore. So, Coach, shout out to you for chipping in, and I'm already working on it, brother. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. So, Mo Better Boxing, we're also, now it's summertime. We're going to be open from 8 to 8. We have some boot camps that are going to kick off next week. Y'all look for the flyers on my pages. There's going to be Zumba. There's going to be extreme workouts, cardio fitness, and then, of course, just the regular boxing training that he's already doing in the evening times. But we'll get together today, Coach, and we'll talk more about that. But definitely want you and the team to, I know we probably can't get everybody at one time because I know how complicated that is, but you definitely share the address, and it's a home that we can make you guys for people who are out on this side or, just traveling or whatever the case may be. We'll definitely get you guys as part of the Mo Better Boxing Gym family. But, I want to kind of transition a little bit so that way we can make sure we get everything in. You're a proud business owner, and I don't know what necessarily made you journey into it, but let's talk about your business and why you started that. And I know what you call it is for a reason and all of that, so let them know a little bit about you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll try to give you guys the short version. My mom didn't like to I guess look at me, for lack of better words. I look just like my dad.
Okay.
Like my birthmark is in the same spot and everything. So I spent a lot of my time in my room, confined to my room, and I remember just having this one window, and so of course dust builds up, and so you're just in this room and you're thinking, you get tired of drawing, you get tired of looking at books, and so one day I just was looking and I was like, dang, the corner,
dirty.
Yeah, and so I swear it felt like it took me all day because I just went from one corner to the next, and I just started cleaning, and so that gave me that cleaning, sensation. And then another thing that a pet peeve that I didn't like, my mom away, and I'm sure my mom not the only one. I think it's like their error, but
right.
But companies coming on Saturday, and instead of you having me do this stuff on a daily basis, on Friday you fussing at me because the wall is dirty or the light switch is dirty, and you gotta clean up. Yeah. And so I used to be like, but man, if you just maybe do it earlier in the week, we wouldn't be rushing. Right. Yeah. So that really started helping me, and it just gave me like this OCD, like stuff has to be in a certain place, certain area. I used to clean drug dealer houses. Don't judge me.
No, everybody got a story. Yeah.
Listen, I grind different, and so I used to tell them like, just because.
And I've never heard that, by the way. That's different. Yeah.
Just because this is the way you live, a person should have to walk in the house and see that this is the way you live. One of a close friend that I had at the time, he was a single father. And so I was like, no, kids can't, right. My mother instinct still was there. And so I did such a good job for him, he passed the work. And then eventually it went from doing drug dealer houses to their parents' houses. Well, that was different because the elderly can't move as much, and so their houses is more, cluttered. But for me, it's really not the cleaning that I like. It's like the organizing.
Yeah.
It's for me to see this clutter, because to me, I go deeper. So when your house is cluttered, dirty, it brings just this depression.
My mom said no judgment.
Thank you, Mom. It's
And I got you, Coach. I got you.
It brings you like just this depression. You know, your mindset is just cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
And so my business logo is clearing the message, clearing the mind, because that's what it is. Once I go in there and I clean your house, I'm talking about windows, window sills.
This is it right here, right?
Yes, OCD, yes. Once I come in there and I get rid of things or I put your things in a certain order, you just live different. I love dealing with hoarders. People talk about hoarders, but it's really a mental state of mind. It's something that they're going through, and they use shopping or something to So
organize, categorize, and declutter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you guys see the logo again. Man, pictures are all over her Facebook page. We were talking about checking out her page for the modeling pics with the Houston Energy, but there's also amazing pictures of before and after pics on her G Solo page on Facebook. And then I'm not sure, do you post on Instagram as well?
Yeah, so
so it's 1G. Okay.
I gotta get better with the Instagram.
Got you with Instagram.
But, on Facebook it's OCD.
Yeah.
On Instagram it's Living to OCD.
Okay. I don't have the business page. I was talking about your personal. So tell them again about the Facebook page and the Instagram page of business one.
Yeah, the Facebook is OCD. It's on my
personal page.
Yeah, it's on my personal page. Instagram is Living to OCD. My Instagram is 1G23. 1G23
on Instagram at 1G, not the number one, but ONEGEE 23 on Instagram, and then Facebook is G Solo, GEE Solo, and then also you can find the OCD Clean page. But man, you got some amazing before and after pictures. And so how do you go about business? Are you just like people just call you and book, or how do you go about doing that? How do you have time for that? How are you doing that?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. It's just always been word of mouth. Then 3 years ago, January, I just woke up and I said, if I want more, I have to do more.
Mm-hmm.
If I want better, I have to be better. And so I went downtown, got my DBA. Of course, last year, everybody know COVID was really bad, so I shut down. Nobody wanted me in their house.
Right.
Okay, cool, no problem. So, I'm a very humble person. I went to Walmart, did online grocery. At the time, they was only paying $11 an hour. But I said, if I could make it with no money, I remember going to TSU, work study, you only get paid once a month.
Right.
So I was like, if I can do that and survive with 3 kids, then I know I can do this.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the online grocery bandwagon. That was doing good for me. So now I just kept it.
Yeah. Because I keep cutting y'all, because you keep saying you're dropping these jewels, right? And it's people that's watching, and so you got to forgive me, right? Because it's like when you talk about looking in the mirror, we see you. I see a beautiful lady here, right? But when you're looking in the mirror, you're looking at something different. So when you're saying these words, you're thinking one thing, but I'm thinking something else.
Right.
And I'm hearing you say how you were able to make it with no money, and so I started thinking about the discipline it takes to do that. So talk a little bit about that. How are you able to make it, right? We can just say we can make it, we can do this, and we can do that. But give people a little bit more, if you don't mind, about what it takes to really grind and do some of the things that you do. What does it take mentally, or not necessarily that you're going to help them be able to do it, but what did you do, to be able to make it? What it took for you? What did it take for you? I'm sorry.
So one thing is being thrown to the wolves. Now, people may not like that term, but I say thrown to the wolves. When my stepdad put me out, I didn't know nothing. And I had a son. Thank God I was breastfeeding, because I didn't know nothing about formula. So I was just thrown out there, and it was in the winter. And so I didn't know that I had an option to give up. I really didn't. All I knew was if I just hold on 2 more years, because I was a sophomore, if I just hold on, I would be able to graduate. And I always wanted to go play basketball for North Carolina Tar Heels. And then I wanted to go to UC University Cincinnati Bearcats. And so I was like, if I just hold on, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
And so it was just something in me, you know. If you just watch the Animal Planet, like when they had their babies, no one is there to help them. They just kind of figure it out. And so it went from there to now I have 2 kids. Then it went to 3 kids. And so when I moved down here,
I'm still dealing with the abuse and everything.
Yeah, so I moved down here with $800. I was looking, and that's when the internet like circled for about 30 minutes before you went to something.
Internet connection wasn't good.
Yeah. So I found some apartments on Beach Nut, and it had to be God, because I called and I was like, man, I'm trying to get away from my abusive husband. You know, I was like, before it killed me. I said, I got 3 kids. I have $800. I said, I'm trying to look for work, but right now I need to get there. I said, I can't go to a shelter because I've always feared something happening to my kids. So I can't go to a shelter. I was like, if I got to live in my car, I will. I said, I just asked the lady for 60 days. I said, ma'am, if you give me 60 days, I promise I will pay what I need to pay. And the lady was like, you know, okay. And I was like,
God working for you again. Yeah.
So I had a daycare job lined up. I was gonna be a director. I had Walmart lined up as an overnight stocker. So I think back then you made like $1 extra.
Yeah.
You know,
so overnight.
Right. So in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Then I get here, Walmart. It was on Dunvale. They was expanding.
No, that was the large one back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So after they expanded, they let us go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I got 3 kids. I told this lady 60 days. I don't know what to do.
Right.
And so I went to selling drugs. Once again, don't judge me. I grind different, right? Yeah. And so, but I still had to be disciplined because I don't want nothing to happen to my 3. Because coming from my childhood to my ex-husband to this, I feel like I have nobody to take care of my kids. Right. And you probably feel like that no one's going to take care of your child like you are. And so my kids was like my biggest discipline. And so I had to do it in a way to where they didn't see it, and I didn't have people in their environment. I had business hours. You know, you could only come to this side. You couldn't come to this side. You know, I had a. So it just went. Long story short, it went from that grinding to being able to pay the lady. Wow. And you know, she was glad that I kept my word. That she had gave me like 2 months free. Yeah. And so I kept grinding.
And if my mom's watching, I know she'll say, man, she got integrity too. That's her biggest word. Yes, integrity, right? So this is a great integrity story, Mom. So
you have to. So that's important. Yeah. So I did that. Then I was like, you know what? I need better. I can't let my kids see this lifestyle. So then I went to TSU. TSU. I used to work 2 fast food jobs at all times. Yeah. Reason being because if I couldn't do nothing else, I could feed my kids. Yeah. You
had a reason.
Yes. Yeah. If I knew that me working these 10 hours for this $5, I'm exaggerating. Like we made $5. Yeah. But if I could work these 10 hours today to make sure my son and 2 daughters could eat a 10-piece nugget and 2 fries, that's what I'm doing. That's what you're gonna do. And even when I was at TSU, fast forward, I got my master's degree and I'm still working fast food because I'm like, it's money to be made. Right. But it just came, my kids were getting older and I was like, you know what, I have to slow down. Yeah. I can't keep working and I'm not there for them. Right. And so I quit the fast food and I was like, I need to figure it out. And so I strongly depended on that TSU tech. Yeah. Well, that was different. Yeah. You go from the fast money to I was waitressing at a sports bar to working these 2 jobs to just 1 school tech. Wow. So I would like have postcards, calendars, everything all around the room. And if I knew that on the first of every month I brought in this $1,200, well, something wasn't gonna get paid. Yeah. So then I had to be disciplined to pay my bills, do these student loans. Lord, somebody take these student loans from me. But my student loan check would come, and you know most people buying cars and weave and you know just stupid stuff. Yeah. That first student, because you get 2, right? You get 2 for the year. That first one, I would pay my bills 3 if I could, 6 months in advance.
Right.
And so any money that I made during that month, I was still paying, because my kids, I was focused on my kids. My kids have always been my discipline, even today.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get high-headed, but I have to think about who's going to be there for my kids because I still have a 12-year-old. My other 3 are gone, grown, have their own families, but I still have a 12-year-old. So not having any money to once a month money, like, it is hard. It's hard because if you mess up, man, you gotta wait 29, sometimes 30 more days to get another check. What I'm gonna do?
Absolutely.
And me not having family here, I couldn't call on you and be like, hey, can you give me $10? I remember I had came into a hard time, and my professor said we have not because we asked not. Which I knew that already, but I never. It never applied to me, right? And so email was booming, right? I wrote a little story. I'm a single mom, 3 kids, struggling. I asked you for $1. And she told me, she's like, it's not begging. And I was like, yes, it is. You just asking people for $1. It's not begging. She was like, no, it's not begging.
Yeah.
So that one email that I sent to strangers, it paid my rent. It bought me a car, and I was good for like 6 months.
You started the whole GoFundMe movement.
Right. Before GoFundMe came. Now, I'll never forget this lady was like so upset. She was like, she's a single mother, 3 kids. It don't mean nothing. And you on here asking for $1. Like she went off on me. And so I showed Dr. Oates, that was my professor. I showed her, and she was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Still like, keep going, keep asking. And I use that attitude now to help others. If you call me and you say your life's about to get cut off, but I can't pay it, I'm quick to go on my Facebook page like, hey, somebody needs help. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And I just take it as either you are or you're not.
Yeah.
And I use the $1 method. Let's just say
it's funny you said that. I used that not too long ago too.
Really?
It's powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's not begging. I mean, any amount is not begging if you're doing it for a cause, if you're doing it for a real reason, because you get more people to help you because people are not even realizing how much they're helping. That $1 from a million people, you know what I'm saying? It just really helps. And if people would understand that more, it would be more of a benefit, So I like that concept. I mean, that's something I've experienced.
Anybody.
Yeah. I use it as a fundraising tool, and try not to do it too much, but you need funds, to keep going, and especially when you have your nonprofit coming up. I have mine. We're doing different things like this, even with the podcast, it's just a way that you can really, really make an impact, So hats off to you on that. And there's a couple questions I didn't really get out, but shout out to Samantha Vasquez. She was saying that she loves you, and she appreciates you being on here. Shout out to Jordan Bird. He said she's she's a special individual. Love that woman as a football player and as a person.
Love you,
absolutely. And I mean, it's already after 12. I'm not in no rush, but I want to try to cover a couple more things. But before we get off the you being a CEO, I say again, this is like your little commercial. So tell people how they can find you, give them a phone number, or how they can book your services if they want to declutter and organize. And Coach, also, we'll let her go to the gym and see what she can do for us. We'll talk about that. He's like, we need that organization over at the gym, so we'll see that once we go by there. But yeah, let's
right
people know how to find it.
I don't have any business cards. I need to start now because thanks to you guys, my business is really booming. Right now, I'm just using word of mouth, Facebook and Instagram.
This is word of mouth now. You tell people how to reach you. If they need their house cleaned today, what they need to do.
My business number is 832-510-8368.
Say again?
832-510-8368.
Absolutely.
That is my business line. They can call me. Like I said, they get the information from you. But it looks like here now I'm gonna have to start making these flyers and these
you're gonna have to come on with it. And are you cleaning homes, cleaning businesses?
I do everything. I do make ratings from houses being built that need to clean, from you selling your house, you need to get it clean. I do apartments. I just got my first bid last week. Hopefully I get it.
Yeah.
I did a bid to do a contract on apartment buildings to get them ready for housing. I do everything. A client asked me 2 weeks ago if I could do their garage.
Yeah.
So I did my garage
So
to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
So I touch up paint. Like I said, I grind different.
Yeah.
I feel like we can do anything if we ask God for guidance. And that's what I do. When I go to these people's homes, I ask God for clarity, for guidance, and I have my way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, go to our Facebook page, man. If you're trying to see what we're talking about, just go to G Tolo's Facebook page. You'll see the pictures of before and after. You'll see the amazing football pictures. And man, I appreciate you coming on the show. And I guess this is Miss Bo Brown says, "What's up, teammate?" So
hey, Bo.
I'm
she's
assuming that's a female.
Now.
Okay,
yeah,
because she says teammates. So shout out to your people way from Dallas. You definitely have a new fan base from my audience here on Facebook. Everybody has been sending some information, and man, they just love the story. I mean, and this is what it's all about. So if you were touched by the story, please send me an inbox at the Reach Podcast Show, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram. If you want to send something directly to G, inspiring her and just thanking her for all the things that she shared today, do that as well. But the whole point behind this show is that we reach one person, and I think we've definitely done that today. And the reason I'm asking you to inbox me is because it's motivation for other people to keep coming back. I'm able to share these stories and show people. If I ran into somebody like you who's thinking like, oh man, what is my story gonna do?
Right.
I share those things, because they'll tell me, they're like, man, I want to come on your show, but she said, let me know what you need, chicken. They're like, yeah, I would come on the show, but it probably ain't gonna help nobody. It ain't gonna do, and so I use that as motivational tools and also marketing tools, because we have to understand that our impact is a lot greater. It ain't about us. It ain't about what we think. It's about the impact that you're having on other individuals or one individual. And so just hats off to you, man. You're doing a lot of amazing things. We've talked about you being a veteran of 10 years on the football team. And this is for people who are just tuning in. You're already establishing your nonprofit. And what was the name of that again?
Embracing Me.
Okay, Embracing Me. I missed that part. Yeah, I remember that statement, but that's what's up. Embracing Me. I'd love to be a part of what you have going on. We've talked about you being the CEO of OCD, which is organized. OCD, organized, categorize and declutter. I almost missed it. But and then also just being a sister, just being a teammate, being a strong individual, and the greatest thing of all, which is all you've talked about the whole show, is being a mom. So hats off to you for being a wonderful mom. Is there anything that you would like to share in the short, brief moments, or any words of encouragement, just whatever you would like to leave the audience with? Besides come to the game Saturday, right? Besides fund the team, give some sponsorship, book her for her services of her business. What would you what would you like to leave with the viewers?
Change your mindset. We as individuals have to change our mindset all across the board. Women have to change the way that we treat men. Men have to change the way that they live their life.
Absolutely.
I would just say change your mindset.
Yeah.
Changing my mindset is what has brought me this far.
Yeah.
Like, even when you asked me to do the podcast, I'm like, it's not, I don't care about people judging me. Like, I give zero cares about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a part of you opening up and you letting people in. I just feel like now I'm vulnerable. I feel like it's a sign of weakness, because now you know, and now you're going to test me about whatever it is, that I said. But I did it. I did this podcast. It's not for me. I did it for who, like I said, the number one. It's always that one person watching, or that one person looking at my picture or whatever, and it's saving their life. Yeah. And so I feel like now I'm like, it is what it is. Let me take the gloves off. Any question that you ask me, I can answer. It's not hiding anything. I don't care what the viewers feel like. I had to change my mindset. And I feel like if I didn't change my mindset, I wouldn't be where I was today. I say depression is a choice. Because I tell my kids that my son will never say he went to jail, he didn't get a diploma, any of that, because he didn't have his father. I'm zero tolerance with that. And so thank God I didn't have to deal with all of that. Because I mean that. any kid that I mentor, any woman that I mentor, hey, it happened. We got to get over it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that I show tough love, but I have to show tough love to myself.
Right.
It's the way that we think.
Right.
And me changing the way that I think, it has allowed me to be who I am now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's huge because when you said eliminating the excuse, that's part of the reason why I started my nonprofit, which is Dad Chronicles, because I grew up without my dad being in my day-to-day life, right? Raised by a strong mother, being my mother.
Right.
And that was the reason for me starting this whole movement, because I wanted to eliminate that excuse of I grew up without my dad, or, it's not an excuse.
Right.
I mean, I know people who've been, I told my kids about your story because I actually know people, not your story per se, but stories like yours.
Oh,
but
no.
you got all the stories that I could think of in one, right? You are the one story, because what I'm saying is I know people who were raised by dope heads, who were raised by people who prostitute them out. I know people kids were raised by people who got beat, saw this and saw that. So it's not an excuse. And luckily for me, my mother and some of my family went through certain situations. And so, but the mental health and wellness side of it still leaves a stain in you, not to have that father, so I've made mistakes in my life. I've done things that, people be like, damn, well, you got your mom, how you do this? People don't really understand. You still go through things. And now me and my dad are cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I changed my mindset. I changed and I shifted. So, and I mean, in a short time of me starting the nonprofit just 2 years ago to now being able to be in a space and look at them and not even think about it, just let's grow from here type of situation. Let's do better. Let's move forward and let's stop leaning on the excuses of, you know what I'm saying? And actually be better. So my whole point of, I'm glad you raised your son because it's similar to how my mom raised me. Don't let nothing be an excuse. She never talk down, allow him to establish his own understanding and it'll be his understanding. And it'll probably be similar to how you feel, right? But it was his choice to make that decision and really understand. So I would like to collaborate, because mentoring and giving these kids positive outlooks and giving them reasons to think different and shift their mindsets and understanding no matter what you go through, you can actually do better. You know what I'm saying? And it's a self-healing journey for me too. It's for me to be better because I experienced something just last week where I made a mistake and it hurt somebody, and so I'm like, man, you're not even thinking about sometimes you have to really think about all the things you do. And the impact that, because you touched on it, and I didn't say nothing, but it made me think. You talk about people do certain things and they move on, they just go on and you leave this person that's sitting behind, and they're still dealing with it, so you have to really be cautious about the things, and we're all human, we make mistakes, but you have to really think more, which is my thing with the chess club is critical thinking, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you really have to understand how important that is. Because you'll make better decisions at the end of the day, and it'll help you do better. But, shout out to Mo Better Boxing. We coming that way in a little bit. We're going to be coming over to restore my people over there. And, this has been a great show. We started a little bit late. We're running a little bit late. So everybody that's watching, you got your full show. And Mom says it's definitely a blessing that your dad is there now. Yeah, so happy for you too. Absolutely. And then the process and seeing the people grow from where they were to where they come to, I know is a big thing because that's a huge thing for me. But nonetheless, man, we're going to get off the air. We're going to share some more. But shout out to shout out to the Houston Energy football team. Shout out to E. Ford. I hate we didn't get a chance to get you to tap in, but keep grinding because I understand you making that big money. So, make her take you out to lunch. But it's all good. I'll see you this weekend. We're going to go to the game. And Mom, if you're free, maybe I'll take you to the game with me. We'll figure that part out. But, I already asked for the last words, but again, is there anything else you'd like to say? You good? She's like, I'm ready to go. Absolutely.
You made me open the
OCD, go to the cleaning service, G Solo on Facebook, 1G23 on Instagram. Follow everything this sister is doing. But again, I got to share this again because this is a huge deal for me. Go and get registered right now. Go to Dad Chronicles Facebook page. Facebook page. go to our website and get registered for the second annual Walk for Life. It's gonna be a virtual walk, which means that on June 19th, we're doing it this year, Father's Day weekend. Last year we did it on Father's Day. This year we're gonna do it on the Saturday before. Go and get registered right now. And we want this to be a virtual movement. It's for the very situation that we've been talking about today. Mental health and wellness is a huge, huge deal these days, just one stemming from COVID. And it's Dad, Males, and Mentors in Action. And it's because it's based on Father's Day weekend. But talking to this strong young lady right here, mental health and wellness is obviously a big deal just in society as a whole, but definitely on the women's side. So that's why I like for the team, some of your individuals that's doing it, to get involved with this situation. So that way it can be a big deal and we can provide the resources that are necessary. Just working out, coming to the gym, going to Restore, getting some self-care involvement, and then just getting the mentoring, all of these things are the resources that we need on the mental health and wellness side. So just get connected with the Dad Chronicles page. Go get registered for the second annual Walk for Life. Shout out to G Solo for being a great mother, being a great football player, and being an inspiration to so many people. And this has been the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. You guys be blessed and have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.